Grace and peace, everybody. We're back. You saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. You're wondering, what in the world are we going to talk about? Don't worry about it. We're going to get at it right now. Imagine, if you will, tell you a story. Imagine if you were the coach of a professional basketball team. And let's say that your team is in the championship and they're playing against their number one rival. And your team is, let's just tell the truth, they're getting skunked. They're getting beat horribly. They're getting beat bad. They're getting beat so bad that the fans, that the audience, the commentators, and even the other team are wondering, are they throwing this game? Do they not want to win? Are they sabotaging their own game? That's how bad your team is playing. That's Fani Willis and this RICO case against Young Slime Life. Let's go ahead and pull it in. Let's talk about how bad they're doing. How bad are they doing? Now, they're doing so poorly that literally now the Newsweek is starting to question whether or not they have they're throwing the case. Whether or not Fani and them are throwing the case. Now, Jason, where are you getting that from? It's very simple. We're going to look at that. We'll look at that motion from yesterday. We read it earlier. It was a great motion. And it was Mr. Kendrick's motion for mistrial. Let's keep going. Let's go check that out. Let's make this a little bit bigger and let's go. What I'll do is I'll actually leave the motion for mistrial in the description so you can jump in and check that out on your own. Let's go. Fulton County, Georgia, District Attorney Fani Willis's office is being accused of sabotaging its own case against rapper Young Thug and 27 other alleged Young Slime Life YSL gang members. In a motion for mistrial filed Tuesday, attorneys for co-defendant DeMonte Kendrick alleged that Willis's prosecutors intentionally held a private meeting with the judge presiding over the case to trigger a mistrial, a move that would allow the DA's office to hit restart on the prosecution. At 18 months and counting, the YSL trial is the longest in Georgia history. Willis indicted young Thug, aka Jeffrey Williams, Kendrick, and 26 other gang-related crimes and 26 others for gang-related crimes more than 2 years ago, inciting Georgia's RICO, we already know that, Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organizations Act. Willis also used the law to indict former President Donald Trump and 18 co-defendants. We already know about that in the election interference case. What is the state to do? Kendrick's lawyer, Doug Weinstein, shout out Doug Weinstein, wrote in a mistrial motion. Losing its case, apparently unconcerned about the need for public justice, the state clearly sought an opportunity to restart the trial by triggering an event in such egregious violation of the constitutional rights of Kendrick that he would have no choice but to request a mistrial. Filing went on. Now goaded by the state and the actions of Chief Judge Oral Glanville, Kendrick has no option but to move this court for a mistrial to respect the constitutional rights of Kendrick and not defeat the ends of public justice. So we know that's Willis right there. The motion comes a week after Glanville was removed from the case amid multiple motions for his recusal. Defense attorneys in the case had been filing motions for mistrial for months, but Glanville's ex parte meeting with prosecutors and state witness Kenneth Copeland led to a renewed calls for the judge to recuse himself. Rarely in recent history of Fulton County Superior Court has one party had to impeach so many of its own witnesses, the filing said. Brian Steele, the attorney for rapper Young Thug, revealed in court last month that the meeting had occurred in judges' chambers without defense counsel's knowledge. When Steele raised the issue in court and openly accused Willis's office of witness tampering, the judge was angered and ordered Steele to reveal how he learned about what was said in private meeting. That's where the infamous contempt comes from. We'll read that in a moment. Steele refused to comply, prompting Glanville to sentence him to 20 years in jail for contempt. The sentence was later stayed by an appeals court. Prosecutors argue that Williams is a kingpin of this YSL gang. His attorneys dispute these claims, arguing instead that YSL stands for his record label, Young Stoner Life. The case was thrown into limbo after Glanville announced earlier this month that he was pausing proceedings until a decision on his recusal was reached. The case was reassigned to Judge Shakura Ingram after Glanville was removed, but Ingram then recused herself. The matter is now being overseen by Judge Paige Reese Whitaker. Shout out Judge Whitaker, who told attorneys last Friday that she planned to move this case forward effectively and expeditiously. Kendrick's attorney, however, insisted Tuesday that Whitaker should declare a mistrial, writing that now the court is tasked with unringing the bell. This honorable court is now faced with an unenviable and impossible task of rewinding the case to the afternoon of June 12th, 2024, the filing states. How is the court to accomplish this impossible task? How does this court take the jurors' notes from these days from the jurors? How can the jury unhear days and days of testimony? Kendrick lawyers argue. This is not a matter of a witness uttering a simple statement that a court instructs the jury to disregard. They continue. It is neither feasible nor plausible that an instruction is to disregard days of testimony can be followed. All right. So that is what's going on in this case. And it's starting to look a lot like I said before, I really believe Fani Willis is trying to scuttle this case. I do believe that she's torpedoing her own case because she realizes it's not going to gain any political traction. It's not going to gain her any advantage, any career path, power moves, anything of that nature. So you might as well just let it go because the case really had no grounds to start with. Now, I don't know if those gentlemen are guilty. I don't know if they've done what they're being accused of. What I do know is that Fani Willis is not capable and is demonstrating an inability to be able to properly try this case. What do you think? Down in the comments below, let me know what your thoughts are. Do you believe and agree with what's going on? Do you think that they should go to mistrial? Do you think they should continue? Do you think Fani Willis, her team is inept? Do you think they are trying their very best to do the right thing? What do you think? Down in the comments, I'm looking forward to hearing that. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace. Take care.